Genesis 16. This is all about Hagar, the servant girl of Abraham and Sarah. Now, she was the powerless. She was a servant girl, a slave girl from Egypt, who had been given to the family when they were living in Egypt. And Abraham seems to lose his faith to some degree that he's going to have a child by Sarai. And so Sarai says, well, why don't you sleep with my servant girl? And we're told that she, Sarah, brought Hagar to Abraham, and Abraham slept with her. And then she has a child, and she gets pregnant, and Sarai starts to persecute her. Sarai dealt harshly with her. The word means that she physically abused her, mentally abused her. And so she runs away, and there she is, pregnant, far from home, the classic single mother. And she's on the way back to Egypt. And she doesn't know what to do. And God comes into her life and appears to her and says, go back and submit yourself beneath Sarah. And at first blush you think, well, that's just telling a woman to go back to abuse. But if you read it carefully, submit yourself under her hands. You choose to do this. And I will greatly multiply your seed, etc. Like the stars for multitude. And you will call this child's name Ishmael. It was nearly always the father who named the child, but no, you will call his name Ishmael. I will empower you, and I will give you the same promises that I gave to Abraham. Now, unfortunately, as often happens, in this case it was the abuser, Sarah, who later repented and came to faith, and the abused was so abused that despite God trying to empower her, she just went back to Egypt in the end and went away from the line of faith. Now, my point is that God has a special interest in the powerless, in the refugee Egyptian single mother pregnant without water in the wilderness. God likewise deals with you. You and me in different aspects of our lives are powerless, and he has a special interest in you and me. And we likewise are to reflect that grace that we received by likewise caring for the powerless. And Hagar was the classic case of that.